It's here with the Smashing Mailboxes at Fab Gear Studios. I would like to have each one of them introduce themselves and tell me what you play, starting right here.
I'm Jason, Rusty Mailbox, lead guitar and vocals.
I'm Adam. I play bass and I also sing.
I am Jesse, also known as Gus Mailbox. I play drums.
I'm Elise, Barbie Mailbox, and I play guitar and sing.
So, let's start with the first question here for you guys. What is the square root of pi?
That's a good question. So,
Wrong.
Is it going to be the crust or the film?
What do you guys think of playing live? Live performance.
it's not that bad.
Love it.
I like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Why would you guys choose to play instruments when so many kids of your age don't?
Well, I feel like it's a really good outlet to express yourself. You can learn, and it's something you can learn at your own pace, and it's really something that you can do that isn't video games, and it gives you real life results, and it's like, oh, this is something that I can do. It's talent.
Do you guys like writing your own songs?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Why do we like writing songs?
Well, the people that came said the original ones were their favorites. They don't like Tex Vegas, so.
Biggest influence?
At first, it was Fall Out Boy. There was this one song that I liked a lot, and I started playing guitar because I wanted to be able to play this one part. And now, I don't really know. It's not as much people I can find on Apple Music. It's more people around me, like learning from my friends, trying to figure out their styles.
The Beatles, definitely. I mean, they really did everything first, I think, when it comes to what we know as rock and roll today. You can go from Love Me Do, which is this little pop ditty they did, and then you go all the way to Helter Skelter, where it's like, this is almost metal. And this is 1967, I think? 68, yeah, somewhere around there. And it's like, that's a heavy song for that era.
Yeah.
They did it first.
Yeah.
I've been really inspired by this band, Car Seat Headrest, and their lead man, Will Toledo, with how he just kind of, like, he makes his own music. He gets on his phone or a computer, writes a song, records it, gets it out there. The whole DIY approach, it's really something that I value and good approach. I like it.
Probably my history of rock teacher, Mr. Musk. He is in a local band, but I don't know, a couple years ago he got me into guitar, and general music class got me into guitar, so then I came here, so probably junior high.
What would you rather get hit with? An apple, an orange, or a water balloon?
An orange.
Water
There's
balloon.
some-
Okay.
And you're gonna smell good after.
Wait,
Right.
so why wouldn't you like the water balloon?
Those hurt sometimes if they don't break.
That's true. I kind of want to get hit with an orange, because I feel like I just kind of want an orange right now, to be honest.
Please welcome to the Fab Gear stage, Trailer Park Messiah.
All right, Jeff O'Callowitz here at Fab Gear Studios with members of Trailer Park Messiah. And tell us what you do and who you are.
So I'm a bass player, and I'm PJ Meza in Trailer Park Messiah.
My name is Ethan. I play guitar. I sing sometimes too.
I also sing sometimes.
He sings too.
Forgot about that.
And this is that Tanner kid.
That
He
time.
doesn't do anything actually.
Yeah, I'm
He's
just
here.
He's moral support. He's our cheerleader.
Tanner's here as security to make sure that nobody gets out of
No
line.
hooligans. He'll rough them up.
You guys, tell me right now why, in this day and age, you guys would choose to play instruments and play rock and roll.
It's like making a scene.
There's something special about like being with people like other than yourself, making music and having something personal with other people. Like being able to like make something bigger than yourself in a group. It's really special, and I think it's really cool to be able to have a space that like supports that and people that'll help you grow as a musician. It's really special.
There's a narrative going around right now. Rock is dead. What do you think of that?
Probably not. It'll come back eventually. Sort of comes and goes.
I think scenes go into the underground, they get popular in the underground, they come right back up. There's big bands right now that are getting really popular that, you know, are more rock based and guitar driven, and I think that's going to be the move. I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to come back into the mainstream again. I think that's great.
What do you guys think of performing live?
It's pretty good. I like doing it. I'd do
Alright.
more of that. I plan on it.
It's a unique challenge because you can get nervous, you can get like, you know, worked up in your own head, how am I going to do, that kind of thing, but being able to adapt like with your friends and being able to perform well, like it's a really good experience. Like just being able to be there and like being able to like be there and try your best and be in a place where you're not going to be judged super hard is really good for you, for sure.
Writing songs. Again, this is one of the things that I find very fascinating with kids, especially that nowadays it seems like there's a lot of, you know, electronic music and samples, but what we do down here, you guys basically choose to do it where you're playing it very organically. What do you guys think? Like, I mean, what would inspire you to do such a thing? And what do you think of writing your own songs?
Listening to other great musicians is an amazing way to like gain inspiration and figure out your own voice as a musician. But like, you know, being around people that have been in the music business and can help you guide you through your songs, like to figure out like what you actually want to do is super helpful. Being in a place where your friends are going to help you and not judge you over trying to write your own music and not say, oh, that's bad, I don't want to hear that, like super helpful. So you can actually write your own music and put it out there and have people be supportive of it. That's
Nice.
huge.
Very good. Very well said.
You know, it's hard for me to explain because it just sort of came to me. Like it wasn't just, I'm just like, that's something I could see myself doing. Because again, you know, listening to music, it's just sort of something that if you feel like you're meant to do it, you just know it, and it comes easily.
Now I'll make a assessment here. Now when I first met you, you were, I would have to say, in maybe 7th grade?
Something like 13. Yeah, I've changed a lot.
Right.
I've grown into this role, obviously.
And over the years, you know, at first you were a little bit quiet and a little more reserved, and then as you started to get a little bit older, you know, you started singing, you started getting a little bit louder,
Sure.
you started kind of taking control of what you're doing behind the microphone. My assessment of that is that, you know, playing music has been some form of an outlet for you.
Oh, for sure. Well, I think it's one of those things that people find it hard to sort of express themselves, but I think with music, you just can't get it wrong. You know, the more wrong it is, the more right it is, and you can just sort of, whatever it is, that's what it is, and you can roll with it, you can make something with it, and it's just sort of, it's easier that way to talk about, you know, just to be more yourself, I guess.
Very well said. I like that. You can't get it wrong. That's good. I'm going to use that
That's
too.
something you and Andy first said to me when I first started singing.
Nice.
I don't know if you remember
Yeah,
that. You got the more wrong it is, come full circle again.
That's some Ramon stuff.
There you go. Yes, yes, indeed. So one more. Where do you see rock and roll, rock music, 2 years from this day? Where do you think?
2 years from this day.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it'll be back on the up climb. It'll be on its way up again after. I don't think it's quite settled at the bottom yet, but it's gonna need a little bit of time once it's there. I think a couple of years it'll be back, at least on the way up again. Maybe not at the top quite just yet.
I think after the 90s, where like, grunge and that kind of stuff was really popular, and we're kind of at a place where really hip-hop driven, stuff is really popular right now. Guitar-driven leads are going to be back in the mainstream. Like, it's going to be more popular. It's not going to be popular in the same way, but I think it's evolving and growing in a way where newer musicians can really understand it and have fun with it, where it's not, like AC/DC or something, that was a little bit older and people don't understand it as much. But now it's kind of at a point where people listen to, hip-hop artists and are like, okay, I want this to be heavier, like how can I make this heavier? And they'll play guitar or like to do whatever they have to do to make it how they want to hear it. And I think it's awesome.
Thanks, Jeff!
Warm up. Fingers going. About to slap that bad boy.
Jeff Okalowitz here again at Fab Gear Studios with members of Scene Hyphen. Now, we're with 3 of the 5 members of Scene Hyphen, and after the show Friday night, they performed as a trio, and they pulled this off at the 11th hour, never even practicing with the instruments that these guys played at. So we were all super impressed. So let's go around here and tell me who you are and what you do.
Lawson, I play drums.
I'm Ben, I play bass, but I switched over to guitar.
My name is Jesse. I was originally doing lead vocals, but then I got switched to bass and lead vocals.
So playing live music, sometimes you have to make adaptations. Sometimes in this world you have to make some adaptations playing music. So I called you guys up. I said we're going to be 2 guitars down. Then you switched over from bass to guitar. Jesse, you picked up the bass and played these songs without ever rehearsing with these guys. So what do you guys think of performing live?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it it'll be 3 times now with the program. It was very scary at first. My first time I was a nervous wreck, but I've gotten used to it and I look forward to it every time. It's a lot of fun.
It's a real head rush for me. I like getting into it very much. Nothing's really going through my mind when I'm up there, I don't think, except just on what I'm playing.
All right, now I gotta say, now after watching you play, and I always, I say as a joke that, you play with a lot of intensity, and everybody here in the program, they all will agree with me on that. And I always say Lawson's mad at his drums every time he plays. But now I gotta say, the intensity level, let's talk about that. Now you play live, all right? It's, you do have a lot of aggression that comes out when you're playing, a lot of, dynamic that comes out when you're playing. So when you're playing live, stamina. What do you think of? How do you keep yourself up to stamina?
I think that more I'm on my emotions, I guess, and not worry too much about my physical body. Maybe just sort of let a different force take over me when I'm playing live, I guess. Like I said, I'm just really into it.
All right,
music,
cool.
So I'm not too worried about if I get tired or not.
Biggest influence?
Ensemble.
A guy named Zach Hill.
I'm going to say Lemmy Kilmister.
I've been asking everybody this, so I'll ask you guys. There's a narrative going around, and we've all heard it before, the whole rock is dead narrative. What do you guys think of that?
Definitely not. There's so many great bands that are producing new and actual music compared to what's normally put out, and it's not as mainstream in this other manufactured kind of music took it over, but it's definitely not dead. It's still just as good, I'd say.
In today's day and age, there's not a lot of people picking up instruments as maybe back in my day and age. There was almost everybody was playing guitar or playing something, but now there's still a lot of people doing it, which is totally cool. But what would make you guys pick up instruments? I know you play multiple instruments. Lawson, you play drums. I know I've heard you play bass. You just picked it up and started playing. But what makes you guys want to play instruments and have the drive to play an instrument?
I think I'm just big on art in general. It doesn't necessarily have to be music. I mean, I guess whatever kind of utensil I pick up out of the box, whatever, whether it be drums or visual art or writing, stuff like that. Just the rawest form of self-expression for me. That's what I really care about.
For me, it was back to my musical influence. It was the guy from Ensemble, Sinister Gates. It was just so cool, and I had to learn how to do it. And then, not quite there yet, but yeah, still working at
But
it.
you're getting there.
Part of me just wanted to get chicks.
I think that dates back to the first person who ever actually sang or played an instrument in front of a crowd of people, the first male, and went, wow, this is a good way to meet girls.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that, we always say, with rock and roll, that, it's a lot of expression, it's a lot of fun, it's all these things wrapped up into, one big ball. Holowitz here at Fab Gear Studios again, and we're here with members of Battery Acid, and you guys go around, tell me who you are, what you do.
Adam, I play bass.
My name's Ethan. I play rhythm guitar and I sing.
I'm Joe, and I'm lead guitar.
I'm Lawson, I play drums.
So Joe, let's start with you because I've talked to everybody else already. So, biggest influence, go.
My biggest influence, like guitar, I guess John Frusciante is my biggest influence as a guitarist. I feel like I do not play like him at all anymore. I guess I have other influences on guitar. I like Marty Friedman. I'm a big fan of Marty Friedman.
All right, Joe. So, writing song. What do you think of when you're writing a song, and give me the approach that you go through?
Okay, so when I'm writing a song, that's kind of tough because I never really do just one thing. I'll usually start out with like an idea or a riff. It's like, I don't know, I don't mess around with chord progressions really unless it just sort of comes into my head, you know? I prefer to write like a riff, you know? Most of the chord progressions have been done already. I mean, they've done them all. So I start with those. Rarely I'll start with a lyrical idea, or I'll start with like a melody idea. I just really go on what sort of grabs me and what I think is exciting.
Have you ever been convicted of breaking and entering?
I have not. I'm not.
You're not a breaking and entering kind of guy?
I'm not particularly super into breaking and entering.
Have you ever, at the lift bridge, when their car was stopped, have you ever been tempted to jump in their car and jack it when the bridge came back up?
Maybe once or twice, but I've stopped myself.
We're talking crime here with Joe Wiggle.
I'm not particularly super into breaking and entering.
In rock music, you go and see a band. You want to see them playing live fully or no?
I think you're paying more for the experience, I guess, if they think that it's fitting to play to a track or whatever, because they can't perform themselves well enough at that point for some reason.
Yeah, I think if you played an instrument, you should be able to play it live.
Well, it depends on what concert I'm going to. If I'm going to see like a band, a rock band, I'm expecting them to play all their instruments they play on the record. Like, I understand not everything that was on the record is going to be brought out live, but like, if I'm going to see a rapper or something, they're up there, they're running around, they're jumping. I can imagine it's really hard to try and rap and do all that.
What do you guys see as being the funnest experience of performing?
I think my favorite part about performing is, well, I feel like just playing music live. I just enjoy that. So, I mean, aside from just purely playing the music, I like to try new stuff live. I like to improvise sometimes, and I like to, like feel the music, It's performing live, it's an excuse to, kind of go with the flow of the music without, what if I was like in the basement and playing like I do live? That would be kind of weird if someone walked down there, It's an excuse to kind of let loose a little bit.
All right, very good. Let loose, smash someone's guitar. I got you.
Hopefully not that part.
Beat up a drum set. I got you.